My name is Vitek, I'm a graphic designer in my next games and host for today.
And I am Kuba. I'm a programmer and designer. What we're doing here is we're playing different games and we're looking for inspirations and checking out what works, what doesn't work, and what can we kind of borrow and apply to our work. So today we're playing what, Vitek? What we're playing today? Tell me.
Today we are playing the Stranding. It's a game published in 2019 by Sony, developed by Kojima Productions, directed by Hideo Kojima. It was his first game after his exit from Konami, so there were huge hopes. I remember the first trailer was really cool and it made me want to check this world.
Yeah, it was very enigmatic. Yeah.
And it's still easy when you play the game, you still don't understand everything, but I think that's kind of...
That's the Kojima vibe, I feel.
Yeah, but I like his approach to the storytelling in this. The story isn't told to you in some simple way. There are just some suggestions, some weird guys around you, some weird dialogues, and yet somehow it builds the world and everything around you feels natural.
But you, Vitek, you are a huge fan of this game, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this game and it's my first Kojima game. So I started playing it and it became kind of my comfort game. I'm not playing it to finish the story. I mean, I was at the end of the game, but I decided to go back and explore the world because it kind of suits me a bit, and I like being in this world.
Let's go ahead. Vitek, show me what's so tantalizing about this game that it kind of became your comfort game. Let's see it. Let's show me it.
There were some controversies when the game was released. I think there were good reviews from people who were playing this game, but there was a lot of mocking and toxic reviews that this new Kojima game is a game about walking and that it's boring. And I think that this was not fair really, because there is a lot more to this game than just walking game. There is a whole action game, and I think that the walking aspect and what Kojima did with it elevates other elements of this game.
What's happening here?
When we connect to our BB, which is little baby, those are unborn babies, stillborns. In this world, we know that there is something after death. We don't exactly understand what is it, but we know that it exists. There are some places in which those worlds collide, and those stillborn babies allow us to interact with this world.
Okay.
That's kind of dark, and those are memories of the kid that we are attached to. You've got this huge backpack, and you are trying to wear as much as you can, and the more weight you have on, the less balance you have.
I get it. So you're more stable, yeah?
Yeah.
How big is the world? Can you, for example, show me the whole world?
I don't think so. This
Okay.
is the first world, and there are 3 worlds, probably. Yeah, 3. The first one, it's not the biggest one. The second one is bigger, and the third one, it's after point of no return. So I'm not sure how big it is, but I think it's a different kind of game once you go there. So I think it's more of an action game.
Oh, in that.
when you
Okay,
go there,
I
yeah.
get it. I get it.
So there are also some conditions for your cargo delivery. Sometimes you need to do it in fast time, or sometimes you need to deliver it undamaged. Sometimes you need to carry things in your hands, and it's really easy to lose your balance. There is that weird feeling whenever you go somewhere. We can go to crematory, because in this world whenever someone dies you need to burn his body. If you won't burn his body, and then those guys from the other side can interact with it. So this is one of the crematories.
Those sliders you're using, they are also built by players?
So I built them myself because, well, it's old game, so the community is not as active as it was, but still I gathered quite a lot of likes for some things that I did.
Oh.
In the second chapter of the game you can build roads, and a lot of people are using them, and that's how I spent my Christmas, I think. I was building roads because I don't know why. I just got obsessed with building roads, and I built roads for the whole map.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Proper science fiction. When you said it, it's like the proper science fiction asks a question: what if? And it
Yeah.
kind of wants to illuminate a certain aspect of the
How we act, what we
yeah, how people would act if the certain circumstances occurred. Illuminates the human nature.
do. Yeah, it's connected to extinction events, so there is some science even behind this, even though I know we're talking about ghost game in general, but it makes you think, and I don't know, I love every aspect of this game. And I am a Hideo Kojima fan from now on.
Tell me, Vitek, like, what can we borrow from this game? What do you think is like worth? Because like we're making smaller games, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to make those games like the system of our likes. This is like a complex network game, but like
I don't know, I like that science fiction aspect really. To generate stories and games that are consistent and that are asking some questions, I think it's cool that he doesn't really care, I think, about some conventions. He's doing things his own way. It's something about storytelling and building this by environment, by world, by characters who are also very immersed into this world, into these problems. I'd like to achieve that level of immersion in our games somehow. I know it's not possible for Hank probably, but we were trying with Starship and we did some progress on that.
so what you're telling me, you want to make another Starship, yeah?
Not really. No, I think that it's because this game it's using some very similar and probably simple mechanics. It's nothing really sophisticated. We didn't do it last time. We can check our baby. We are building some relation with this character throughout the game. Yeah, I think it's also a cool element. I wouldn't expect myself to be emotional towards a baby like this, but yeah, it kind of works. You feel bad whenever it starts crying, for example, and it's stressed.
Yeah, what I kind of like about this, what you've shown me is so the traversal is kind of like I feel it's kind of deep. Like you have to be very wary of basically your environment. You have to this is the slope. This is very like steep slope, and you have to be careful.
And also, because you shouldn't forget about this, that whatever you see, you can get there. You can climb the highest peak on the map, and you can look at the world from there. It's great. It's just a challenge for yourself. There is nothing there for you. But yeah, if you want to do it, you can do it.
So basically, every stone, every river, every road is basically gameplay element.
Now you will see how walking may be fun.
Okay, whoa, that's a lot. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so now it gets hard, and sometimes you need to do it, and sometimes you get some really heavy cargo and you need to carry it on your back. You cannot use any vehicles, and it cannot be damaged because it's a nuke, for example. So yeah, there are those things. Cool. Yeah. They are using nukes for a lot of things in this game. It's the most boring parts of game and make them fun, like fetch quests and walking.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
now the fetch quest is this game is basically a bunch of fetch quests. Like and it's like right now you're kind of struggling to get outside this base. So,
still we got kind of flat ground, so it's not that challenging because he's not losing balance, but yeah.
So this is kind of interesting. And for example, Starfield had to, like, people were very kind of mad about the Starfield, like, now you kind of have to, you have one planet and the other planet, you just like put the loading screen in between and now you're on the other planet. Yeah, this is because they weren't able to build the interesting traversal. Yeah, the traversal was kind of
even I don't know, this was kind of a cheat code for them, I think, because game like Starfield, I think, needs less work than game like Skyrim, for example, where you need to design the whole world. And here you are just generating some empty planets and jumping between them, and that's your game. I don't know, it doesn't feel good. I have a lot of bad feelings for Starfield, so...
What we're doing right now is we're kind of working on this. Vitek knows that, but like for those of you who are listening in, right now what we're kind of doing during the weekdays, we're kind of building this game called Fartmania. When you play as a farting pig and you're kind of using your farts to kind of fly and navigate through and I kind of feel maybe we'll be able to kind of use our farting mechanics and, similarly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Climbing a tower and basically navigating between those like spiky walls to avoid like falling down. This is also a traversal mechanics.
Yeah.
That kind of allows you to make a traversal interesting.
Okay, so I also love the vehicles design in this, from the like industrial design and graphic design. I love everything about this game. I love the way the car looks, I love the way the motorbike looks, all the buildings, everything is great. But it also made me think about the car, because really slow, but because you can move a lot of cargo with it, it's kind of very satisfying, and you know, it doesn't really need to go very fast to be useful. So I like this, and I like really, I don't know, this is probably harder, but I like the social aspect of this game. And this kind of, it's a bit like messages in Dark Souls, but in simplified form. You are just putting some GIFs, but I don't know, it feels like a good way of communication, and even though it's very limited, and sometimes it can make you feel better, and sometimes it has some function like restoring your stamina, for example.
So I assume you're gonna be very excited for that Stranding 2 that's gonna be coming out, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's set to be released in 2025 at the end. But I'm not watching trailers or anything. I don't know. I don't want to set my expectation too high or something.
Sam the man in the dark about everything.
Don't forget, coming on this expedition was meant to help you find the strength to carry on. And you have. We all know you've got this.